It's a hell of a compliment when someone says that, hey, you're the best. Well, guess what? I had a chance to sit down with the brand dubbed the best cigar in the world. This is the Puff Sip Chat. My name is Reggie Kimball. Join us as we explore the world of premium cigars and whiskey with the people who make it possible. And please check out the Loyal to Ash cigar subscription service. We feature 4 to 5 premium cigars each month and will always include at least one minority or female-owned brand. Check out loyaltoash.com and use code PuffSipChat for a special discount. So this is the Puff Sip Chat. My name is Reggie Kimball. Welcome as we explore the world of premium cigars and premium whiskey with the people who make it possible. I'm here with Mr. Rob Smith of Meluha Cigars, the man entrusted with shepherding the United States release of the cigar dubbed the best cigar in the world.
That's right.
The best cigar in the world, Rob. First off, what's up, brother? Welcome.
Good to see you,
It's
brother.
great to see you. It's been a couple years since we hung out. I think it's been a couple years since Casa, right?
Yeah, it's been a couple years. Last time I saw you was over at Casa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We were hanging out, Casa. For those who don't know, Casa's now Smoke Break, I think, right?
Yep.
In Atlanta.
Yep, on the east side.
We were doing a film with Steve over at Casa, the previous owner. This brother was here hanging out, giving me some great tips and dropping some knowledge on the bourbons and the whiskeys while he was doing it.
That's right.
And we exchanged information, and here we are, still in touch.
Mm-hmm.
A lot has happened since then.
Absolutely. I've seen Puff Sip Chat change from the Stickman blog and then got moved on up.
Yeah, we were formed. Yeah, that's right. Because when we were doing it before, we were the Stickmen, and now we are Puff Sip Chat. And a lot of people don't realize, but Puff Sip Chat was actually the tagline of Stickmen. But I got so much shit from the sisters, our sisters of the Leaf, saying, "What about the stick women out there?" I said, noted.
Okay.
I listened to good feedback because feedback is a gift. And I said, what about Puff Sip Chat? And everybody said, we like that. Puff Sip Chat it is. We're here now. Puff Sip Chat.
I like it, man.
Puff Sip Chat, but I can't repeat. Because guess what? We do this over and over over again.
Let's put it in the loop.
Put it in the loop.
Puff.
That's right. So, so hey, man, we are here for Meluha Cigars, but I want to keep chatting on something else. A lot's happened since the last time we connected. For those who don't know, Rob Smith is the owner of Robusto's Cigar Lounge, which unfortunately burned down. My brother, I was so sorry to hear that. And
Appreciate it.
But I hear you told me some great news that is coming back, right?
Yeah, well, Robusto's, we had a fire, unfortunately, and lost everything. But it's okay. You didn't
lose everything. You didn't lose you.
That's right. And the old adage goes, some of the greatest inventions comes up during times of adversity. And so I was able to look back and thought about the idea of maybe it's an opportunity for me to build a bigger and better. And Robusto's, for those who have been there, thought it was a beautiful, cozy lounge. You recorded an episode there with my staff.
Did. That's right.
And now we're building it back twice the size with a rooftop. So it will be the only standalone rooftop, true full rooftop cigar lounge in Atlanta.
Wait. So can the Puff Sip Chat come and do an episode there?
Absolutely.
Am I allowed to come into the new Robustos?
Absolutely.
All right.
I would have it no other way.
That's good. So that means I can't mess this episode up because then he gonna change his mind, y'all. Gotta have Stickman #1 come back. So, brother, okay. Let's get into it, man. Number one, thank you for coming down. You made the trip all the way down from Atlanta, Georgia, down to Tampa, Florida. And for those who don't know, this is the new Puff Sip Chat Studios. The very first episode being taped in this lounge, in our studio, is with this brother right here, Rob Smith, to talk about Meluha Cigars.
I'm honored.
Yeah, so thank you for being the first. This is like a special occasion. So in about a year or two from now, when I'm like, or maybe 10 years from now, 20 years, I don't know. Let me get there. In the future, let's say in the future, when I'm this big international success as a podcaster,
you get to say,
Yeah,
I was in the
first episode. That's right.
Episode in the
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, yeah. Let's speak that into existence.
So, by the way, brother, I got to tell you, this is a beautiful place. I walked in here, and I was blown away. I mean, I know you're a class act.
Thank you, man.
But just the way everything is just spaced strategically, and the aesthetics, it's just beautiful.
Thank you, man. I'm very proud of it. This right here, though, is my pride and joy. I love that.
I feel like I'm in the Board City right now.
Yeah, there you go. We're sitting on 7th Avenue.
Yeah,
we're sitting on 7th Avenue.
That's right.
We're on
Look
7th
at that.
Avenue.
Oh,
How about that?
I love it, man.
So, hey, let's get into this, man. Meluha Cigars. I want to talk about the elephant in the room. You know why I call it the elephant in the room?
Because the best cigar in the world.
Because you called it the best cigar. And you didn't call it that.
There you go.
Meluha calls themselves the best cigar in the world.
Not really.
Who calls it the best cigar in the world?
That is what the people who have consumed the cigar says. It's the best cigar in the world. In fact, I can refer to a most recent one. There have been several over the years. But about 4 months ago, this cigar was released in the UK. And Cigar Central, for those of you who are on social media, can look it up. Very reputable. Their exact quote was, "The Meluha has finally reached the United Kingdom. It's about time the best cigar in the world comes to the UK." And I have no shame as the guy who is the owner of the brand in the United States, adopting that and saying it is the best cigar in the world, because from my experience, it is.
Wow. I don't know how to follow that. Let me tell you this. This is my first time, obviously, of having the Meluha cigar. And I told Rob before we started taping this, I said, this is a gauge that traditionally would not smoke. And he goes, don't worry about all that. Don't worry about it. Give it a try. Give it a try. I said, okay, let me give it a try. So here we are, giving it a try. A larger gauge, and I really don't smoke. And I'm not just about to talk shit because this man is sitting right next to me. But the first few draws of this, brother, I can't wait to get into the second third and the final third, because the first few puffs have been amazing.
Get to it right away.
It gets right into the flavor.
Closed foot. You light it up and it gets right into the full flavor. How about the draw?
The draw is
for a big ring gauge.
So easy. It's so smooth, y'all. It's so smooth. Matter of fact, before we started, you said, Reggie, sniff the foot. Get a little bit of that aroma. And the aroma of the foot, even before you light it, was just so phenomenal. We've all done this before, right? We've all had different cigars, but this particular one has a unique aroma that I haven't had. It's actually, the best way I describe it is gentle. It is a gentle aroma when you first sniff it, and that's what I got. It's like, wow,
we like to say delicate.
Oh, there you go, my man, delicate. Okay, so this is a delicate foot on this, and so far, man, I'm loving it.
Thanks, brother.
So by the final third, maybe I will be able to say that this is the best cigar in the world. Talking
sticks, Reggie, if you look at the burn, one of the things that we put a lot of emphasis on is that the cigar is by no means inexpensive. Relatively speaking, it's an expensive cigar, right? For a number of reasons, which we'll get into later. But when you're making a quality cigar that is going to be a little bit on the pricey side, it's absolutely essential that you have very good burn rate, so you can take your time to enjoy the cigar and not having it burning when you rest it. Now I'm going to rest this one here for a while as we have this conversation. And based on the construction of the stick and the way that the tostadores did this construction of this cigar, we will come back to it and you will see it's still ready to puff, brother.
So there will be no relighting.
There you go. Is that the hallmark of a good cigar?
That's a hallmark of a great cigar.
We will see it in real time.
Okay, I'm gonna keep puffing on mine because I'm just enjoying the flavor right now. So forgive me for not joining you, but I will let mine rest in just a moment. So Meluha Cigars, brother, it really prides itself in exceptional quality and attention to detail. What exactly goes into that? What does that mean in layman's terms? Because everyone says that when you talk about different cigar brands, they are like, oh, we have the best quality, we have the best craftsmanship. But Meluha, the best cigar in the world, that must really mean something special. Tell me about that.
So essentially, one of the things that we did, we are true to the culture. And when I say we, I'm talking about the founder of the company, Yogi. We're going to be in San Francisco next week for a major event. He's flying over here, but he lives in Dubai. I'll tell you about the Meluha cigar. The Meluha cigar recalls Costa Rica home. And rather than saying it's from Costa Rica, we like to say it calls Costa Rica home, because the tobacco that makes up the Meluha cigar is not just from Costa Rica. It's from some of the best regions in the world that grows some of the best quality tobacco. However, the main filler is grown from the Cuban Habano in the high elevations of Costa Rica. Now, that is a very delicate process. We take our time from the seeding, germination, all the way to where the leaves are harvested and where they are cured. Beyond that, we take a meticulous approach to ensuring that the tostadores who are rolling these cigars, on the average, they would roll about 100 cigars per day. For Meluha, we're looking at 50, because of the high demand.
So this
for
is not
attention.
this is not about a quantity play, right?
No,
it's not
sir.
about volume. This
Not
is
at all.
slow it down.
Yes.
Every cigar has to
Quality.
go through a special process, the same process, consistent process to get what you have
Yes.
in this right here. This-
Absolutely.
Now, how many different blends do we have with Meluha Cigars? Is this one?
So that's a secret sauce.
Oh,
but we
okay.
but we do have different wrappers. As you know, most of the flavor is in the wrapper.
That's right.
Right. So we
That's
do
right.
have different wrappers, and we have different sizes. And so based on the wrapper and the size, you might get a certain elements in terms of the taste that you get, but the aromas are going to be very similar.
And you're going to get that same consistent smoke.
There you go.
And so, brother, I happen to know that you are extremely well connected in the cigar industry.
A little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit, right? Just a little bit. So how did this all come about, though? You know so many people. There's probably any number of routes that you could have taken in this industry, given who you are. But you're partnering with Meluha. Outside of it being the best cigar in the world, what makes you partner with them as a businessman?
So I met Yogi many years ago, and we just developed a wonderful relationship. At the time, he knew that he knew my position working in corporate out in Silicon Valley, and he also knew that I was passionate about cigars, and I owned a retail shop. That was the first retail shop in Hot Ashes too.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
That was one of the original black-owned cigar shops in Atlanta. That, like the guys like to say, the tree came from. Right.
A lot of people sprouted from
Sprouted
your tree.
and went on to own their own businesses and so on, which I'm proud to have inspired them, directly or indirectly. In any case, he knew what I was doing, and he approached me about working for Meluha in the United States. And I told him that I was not interested in doing that. And later on in the years, we did a relationship, and I told him that what I would be interested in is launching Meluha USA, own the distribution and control everything here in the United States, just source the product from Meluha International. And that was like a marriage made in heaven, bro.
So you are responsible for Meluha Cigars in the U.S.
That's correct. Which
Now,
is
does that include North America, all of North America, or just the U.S.?
Just the United States.
Just the U.S.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Congratulations on that relationship, man.
Thanks, man.
That's
Thanks.
a beautiful thing. And so, you probably this next question I have, you probably have to kill me if you tell me. I got to ask the question anyway. With it being such a magnificent cigar, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it, it's magnificent. I'm loving it so far.
Oh, by the way, you see it was resting? And you said
I see that. I see you puff right on up. Hey, you ain't lying. We're not telling any fables here on the Puff Sip Chat. I get it. But Meluha and sourcing its cigars. You mentioned Costa Rica.
Yes, that's where the main filler is grown.
Okay,
Yes.
and the tobacco leaves.
So we get some from Ecuador. We get some from Ecuador. And this real smooth Maduro wrapper you see in here, this is from the Dominican Republic. Which, in terms of the creaminess that you get when you puff it, you could tell that it has some elements of the Dominican tobacco.
Yes.
So that's why when I say we source some of the best tobacco from all over the world, but we like to call Costa Rica home because that is where the factory is, and that is where the actual. It's made in the same factory as one of the other great cigars in the world, the Atabey. So that should tell you something about it.
Okay. About one of the things that really resonated with me, Rob, is that you talked about how so many cigar brands focus on that sort of that. I know it's sort of arbitrary, but that 100 cigar a day mark.
Yeah.
You guys focus
for each
on
roller,
more like for each roller, yes. At Meluha, it's more about 40.
Yeah, 50. Yeah, half of that.
40, about 50 cigars a day, which that in itself, that means your rollers are taking their time.
Yes.
Doing things the right way.
Yes.
So beyond once we move past the rollers, what's the aging process?
That's a great question. And to piggyback on what you say, leading into that question, I have never seen quality and haste or rush in the same sentence, and it makes sense, right? So we do that because producing this quality of cigar, it necessitates tedious attention to detail, which is why we ensure that those rollers only roll 50 cigars per day versus 100. It's about quality versus quantity.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That's beautiful. Okay. I can mess with that. And today, one of the things that we're about to sip on, I'm gonna get excited because everybody knows we're on the Puffs of Chat, and my normal subscribers are watching this podcast right now and said, "What the hell? What are they sipping on today?
Sipping.
Reggie's not drinking anything."
Yeah, they're not sipping.
What should we be sipping on with the Meluha cigar? What would be your pairing recommendation?
So, if someone was to go to, if you were to go to the meluhacigars.com website, you will notice that for the release that we did in Dubai, it was being paired with the Louis XIII cognac. Unfortunately, we don't have a Louis XIII here, but the cigar is so good that it can pretty much be paired with any libation as long as it doesn't have a very high ethanol content on the finish to mess with your palate and then impacts your ability to truly taste the cigar, which should really gives you the Meluha mantra, which we call an exquisite surrender. In other words, just relax and enjoy the experience.
I gotta say, I've smoked a few cigars in my day.
Yes, sir.
I'm really enjoying this cigar, man. I'm really enjoying this cigar.
So today, what I have for us to taste and sip with this is a very, very special bottle of wine. For those of us who are watching and have been to Napa Valley and experienced one of the finest wine tasting experience there, as a guy who lived in California for many years and worked in Silicon Valley, Napa Valley weekends were my regular stuff. And there's a winery that opened back in, I think it was about 2000 or 2001, called Alpha Omega. When I started going there, it was just a little barnyard. No, it's a huge establishment.
It's a huge establishment.
Yes. And
I have not done the wine tour in Napa Valley yet. That's on my list of things I got to get to.
It's a must. Now, this wine that we're going to be sipping on today, it's called the Alpha Omega Winery. And this is, for those who can see it, it's a 2004 Alpha Omega Cabernet Sauvignon varietal. 2004 was one of the best year for this particular varietal here's the band, y'all. 2004 was one of the best years as far as the climatic condition for growing Cabernet Sauvignon in Napa.
Okay.
I think when I bought this back then, I bought a case. It was about $98 a bottle. I think I see them online now, like in the $400 They have made some verticals, but they're not like the original. They're almost like it. Well, I'm going to let you taste today.
I feel very honored, brother, that you would bring this on the Positive Chat. Thank you.
It's very delicate, very fruit forward, but this bottle is almost 20 years old. So we're going to have an exquisite indulgence in the 20-year-old Cabernet Sauvignon. Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
And this Meluha.
Meluha Cigars.
Now, if you notice, it should just roll over your tongue and it fizzes away because almost all the tanning has dissipated.
I think we should just stop the show.
And just drink and smoke.
I think we should just stop the show. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Hey, thanks for joining us. Y'all have a good
Cheers.
day. That's phenomenal.
It's just a great wine. Quality wine with quality cigar.
So I know my bourbons and scotches pretty well. I've done several shows featuring different bourbons and scotches. I love to drink wine in my personal life, but I wouldn't not call myself a wine connoisseur. I kind of drink like kind of just your typical everyday wines that you might be able to pick up at a local grocery store or liquor store. This is different.
I tell you what, brother.
You're showing off right now. You're showing off right now on my show.
And that's all right.
It's okay.
That's all right.
It's okay. I'm gonna take. Yeah.
You come to the A, and guess what? We'll get you straight.
Oh man. Well, thank you for bringing that on. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I'm gonna get back to Meluha Cigars for a second. One of the things that I've learned in doing my own research about Meluha is that customer satisfaction is critical to the brand.
Absolutely.
Absolutely critical to the brand. So now as you go to launch that in the United States, how do you maintain that quality? What's your approach to building that kind of long-lasting relationships with your customers and create those raving fans right here in the States?
Yeah. So the first thing that I did, I'm in the process of building a team, and I've had my first batch imported, and it is sitting in storage right now. I have not shipped anything out because we're still in the business readiness phase. And in terms of being in the business readiness phase, what I do is look at the opportunity life cycle from beginning to end and ensure that everything is up to Meluha quality. Meluha quality, we're talking about an established branding standard that we have.
That's right.
Right? That will remain consistent, no deviation away from it. There are companies that we revere, like Davidoff, the Fuentes, the Padrones. There are certain companies that we revere, and we would like to
they're
be
legendary companies.
Legendary.
Yes.
They did it right. And there are other companies too. But just, we would like to be considered in that same realm at some point, because this is not just for today. It's not just for profit. It's for the culture. So we're going to ensure that companies operate in three basic premises, right? Policies and procedures.
That's right.
And then you have a governance structure in place that govern how those policies and procedures takes place.
That's right.
So what we're doing is ensuring that we put those things in place right now.
And your background in corporate America allows you to be just that man that can do that.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course. So I'm building my team right now. So if there's anyone out there who's watching the show really, and they're interested in being a part of something great, they can always just provide a feedback to you directly. We have a great relationship.
Hey, DM me and I'll get you guys in touch.
Yeah.
I know there's some great people out there. Yeah. You have a team that you brought in the show today.
Yeah. We're
Shout out to Daniel
part of the
Lilly.
team. Yeah, part of the team.
It's the team, right? So you came
right.
here in force. I was thinking Rob was going to roll up. This man rolled up in the Sprinter van. You got two people hopping out, like doing their thing, man. So the team is forming right now.
Yes.
And I've only spent an hour with your team right now, and I can already tell you mean what you say.
Yeah, so it's
people
about
that can get the job done.
It's about having a good race, roles and responsibilities, and they understand where they fit in, and we just make it crack.
What would you say to somebody that's new to cigar smoking, and they're watching this right now, and they say, "Wow, that Meluha sounds pretty good. I want to explore that a little bit." What would you tell them to do?
The first thing I would tell them is if they're new to the cigar industry, you really want to start off smoking a cigar that is affordable. You start off smoking a cigar that fits your palate. Get to a cigar store and talk to a very good tobacconist so they can guide you the right way. Now, after you have had the rest, then you can always try the best. Because that is the only way you will be able to appreciate the elements of the best.
This dude right here, man. First of all, I got to tell you, brother, you have the most amazing voice. I'm sure you heard that before. This brother has a voice. You should be in my seat right now hosting this show because you got that voice that a lot of people just would die for. So anyway, kudos to you on that, man.
Thanks, brother. I try, man. Good Lord bless me with that.
That's right. That's right. We can't help our voice. Like my voice is horrible, I think, sometimes.
Well, I want to point something out to you on the cigar side. Now, this size cigar, you will never have to ash this cigar. Look at the way it's burning. Look at the way it holds the ash.
I see that, and I'm going slow. You're going much faster than me. I guess because I'm like
you're the one doing the talking.
That's right.
I'm just puffing. See, it's puff sip chat. Right?
That's right.
You chat while I puff.
You puff and sip. I like that. That's what we'll do. So I want to take us back a little bit. We've talked a little bit about Meluha, and I think hopefully right now people have got a great feel for what's coming in the U.S. What's here and what's coming is a phenomenal brand. But I want to talk a little bit about the man behind making this happen.
Hey, this is Stickman Number One. Thanks for listening to the Puff Sip Chat podcast. If you want to hear more great episodes just like this one, please hit one of those donation links below. We could really use your support. Also, please visit us at puffsipchat.com for some cool Puff Sip Chat swag. Until next time, Puff Sip Chat repeat, baby. I'm out.